Greetings, grinders. This is Duckie Succumbs, aka Sean Hugas. It's another episode of One on One with Duckie. Glad to be here again. This interview was tough to get. Both of us had been very busy the last couple weeks, and in some cases, I've been a little lazy. So I'm glad to get it finally going here. We have one of Roto Grinder's finest. He's a regular contributor to the site, and let's bring in Derek Farnsworth, aka Notorious. How's it going, Derek?
Good, Sean. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, we got to get you off the golf course so we could do
Yeah,
this.
I know. Well, I'm sorry. It's like, I don't get the opportunity enough to play. If I was playing every day, I'd be like, forget it. But my friends, it's hard to find friends that will go out and play like on a Monday at 12 o'clock. So I just was like, I better take advantage of this situation while I can. So, but we made it work, and I thank you for your patience on that. So let's start with the basics. Go easy. Why did you choose Notorious for your name? Obviously, I would sense it's a Notorious B.I.G. reference, correct?
Yeah, so when I very first signed up, I think I had like my name and a bunch of numbers, and then I played for a couple weeks, and I was like, I need a better name, so I made a new account on Draft Street back in the day, and was listening to a Notorious song, and so yeah, that's a pretty cool name. So I'll go with that, and then ever since then, it's kind of just become a part of me.
Were you surprised you were able to get Notorious as your name? I mean, that usually people try to put names up, and they end up having to put 12 numbers behind them when they get there.
Yeah, well, back when I started playing, there weren't that many people. I think there were maybe, I don't know, back in the Draft Street chat days, there'd be like 99 people online, and that would be the most I would ever see on there. So
that's true. So you were in the early days of the Draft Street chat room, because I mean, not to use a pun, that was kind of a notorious place to be in, was the Draft Street chat room. What was it like in the early days?
Yeah, I would just hide it. I couldn't take all the drama going on between. Do you remember the feature where you could send people money, and
yeah,
people would be asking for 59 cents so they could join a $2 league? And
so you said it was like Mad Max kind of place. It was like Barter Town or something like that. It was like the scummiest of the scummiest were running around in that area, I guess.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people made their name in that chat room. Like, they actually got them jobs. And so I think Tommy G might have been Draft Street chat room, if I recall. I can't remember. But did you ever talk any smack in there, or were you just above it in that situation?
I'm not really a big smack talker. I just kind of do my own thing, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay. All right. Well, someday maybe we'll just bring it out in you or something like that. So, you walk around, we'll get you a strut, see where we can go with it. So, okay, so obviously Biggie, is that the era of rap that you mostly listening to? Would it be like the early late 90s era, or are you more aware with the new stuff?
A little of both. So like when I was growing up, I didn't listen to rap that much just because I was born in '87, so the time with Biggie and Pac, I was pretty young, so I didn't really listen to them until I got older. But yeah, I like the older stuff now, and the newer stuff's fine. I like all kinds of music, but yeah, I mean, I listen to a little bit of everything.
Okay, cool. You're in Utah, if I'm correct, right? So what is the social scene like in Utah right now? I remember when I was a kid, I lived in Pennsylvania, and then I moved to Los Angeles, and like the difference was light years difference. But do you see much of a difference between where you live in Utah and some of the other larger cities that you've been to?
Oh yeah, definitely a big difference. The bars close early. Last call's at 1. Beer's 3% unless you go to the liquor store. Yeah, we have like 3 Uber drivers in the state, so it's a different adjustment. But yeah, I don't go out a whole lot anymore. I got a new baby, so
congratulations on that. Yeah. So it's not a place that you go. I know NBA players had a problem with that coming to Utah, that there wasn't the excitement. So there's not really a scene, so to speak, that you would
Yeah.
recommend while you're there? So
not really. I remember back in the day when the Bulls were playing the Jazz, Dennis Rodman would just fly down to Las Vegas in between the games and then fly back for the game. So,
well, that would make sense. Well, how long of a flight is that to Vegas from you?
it's like an hour and 15 minutes, so pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's not bad. Oh, that's like LA. Yeah, that's almost the same thing. So, what would you do if you were in charge of selling Utah as a place to live? What would your arguments be?
I mean, a lot of outdoor stuff, whether you're hiking, that kind of stuff, and boating. Great skiing if you like skiing. And then Park City is awesome. If anybody ever wants to come to Utah, highly recommend Park City. It's kind of its own little culture up there.
Okay, so yeah, I know a lot of people in California come up there for skiing, so it's a very popular place. I don't want to get too deep into this because I'm not looking for controversy. How much does the religious attitude affect the town as a whole? I mean, is that what keeps like the social scene down, or is it just is it obvious that it's the most important thing there? I guess would be the question.
It's definitely interesting. Most people are either Mormon or they drink and party, and so there's not a lot of in between there. And even with our sports teams, you have University of Utah and BYU, and a lot of that's divided by religion too. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
What is the difference between BYU and Utah? Just somebody that wouldn't know.
So yeah, BYU is just Brigham Young University. It's a LDS school.
Right.
And Utah is just a regular university.
Yeah, I mean, and go ahead.
No, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you can be LDS and go to either one or not be, but I think something like 90% of BYU students are LDS.
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, and for those that don't know, it's Latter-day Saints. So just in case you didn't know, so just there might be a few people that don't know, but yeah, just want to be sure. So, and you've lived there your whole life, have you, or did you live anywhere else during your time?
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
And not planning on leaving anytime soon?
No, I mean, I like Nashville a lot. I like coming down and working in the Road Grinders office, but for now, I think we're fine here.
Yeah. Are you going to the party, by the way? Or are you just
yes.
a random thing?
Yes,
me too.
Going? Awesome.
Yes, I am going. I've been to Memphis. I haven't been to Nashville. So I'm actually kind of excited about this. Dean and I are going to hit the streets and just tear the place up. We decided. So
awesome.
It should be. Yeah, it should be exciting. So first time I met you, you played in the Roto Grinders basketball tournament. And you pretty much stood out in those games. How bad were the players you were playing with in that tournament?
On my team or just in general?
In general. You're allowed to take shots here. I'm giving you a free shot here to attack people. Go.
I don't think anybody was necessarily bad. I think everyone was hungover and out of shape. I think those are the two characteristics I'd give everyone.
Oh, that is very kind of you to say this. There are YouTube videos floating somewhere deep in the universe of me and I think EMAC insulting everybody on the basketball court, but we couldn't say anything about you. Unfortunately, you got off fine. We're like, okay, Notorious is good. We can't talk any trash about him. But so, did you play in high school?
Yeah, I played in high school and just play pickup ball these days. But
okay, so did you try even for college or anything like that, or were you just
not really? I probably could have tried out at some smaller out-of-state schools or something, but I had a full ride with my academics, so I kind of just did that.
Oh, la-di-da. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh, well, but you could dunk at one point. Can you still dunk?
No, not even close. I don't even know if I can touch the net anymore.
Oh, yeah, I know. I can't even touch the bottom of let's say a foot below the rim. I don't think I can even get close to now. Well, I probably couldn't back then either. I could touch the net. I know that, but those days are long over. So
you see Dan's video of him dunking the other day?
Yeah, on the 8-foot rim was that. Yeah, that was kind of. Dan is an exception to the rule. He's gonna live forever, I think. So it's he's a machine, so, to say the least. But so you've been writing for Roto Grinders now for how long? How long have you been with
I
this?
believe full time it's coming up on 3 years, and then kind of did blogs and stuff for 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. And how much prep do you put into writing an article? Because they are very detailed articles. I mean, there's a couple thousand words there, I think, almost, right? So
Yeah, so each day it takes me about an hour to get the template for the grind down, and then as I'm just writing, going through each game, I'll research each pitcher and all that kind of stuff. So the whole process takes me 4.5, 5 hours for the grind down, and then the incentive stuff as well.
well, you're a better man than I am. Okay, so, I'm too lazy to write. I'm too lazy to write a 400-word article. So that's I give you kudos on that. What do you think is the best strategy for new players? Because we're still getting new players even now, still in the game. What do you think the best strategy for new players is to get involved in the games?
I think everyone starts chasing, the big payouts right when they first start, and that's fine. But I think they should start out doing a little bit more cash games, double ups, just trying to learn the game and not losing your whole bankroll while you're doing it. And then I always like to look at the top experts lineups every night, and I recommend that to all the new players. If you join a $5 or $10 double up, you can see anyone's lineup that you want because everyone's going to be in it. So study their lineups, try to learn their process, what they were thinking with each pick, and you'll start to pick it up pretty quickly.
Yeah. By the way, in Utah, is the backwards cap still a look?
I'm rocking it.
No, you make it work. I'm not knocking you. I know it's a podcast. Nobody's seeing it, but the picture of that Derek has up on his page is the same look he's looking right now. So he's consistent. I know. There's no shame in that. So it's still is it an ode to Ken Griffey, or was it just something that you just did?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I rock it front ways every once in a while, but I always have a hat on. My hair is slowly evolving into the Dan box. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not worried about. Well, anyway. So what cap is that, by the way? We always see the back. So what team are
this
you
is just the Yankees hat. I don't really have any strong preference for MLB teams, but
well, it's hard. It's hard living in Utah. You have one major sports team, pretty much, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, who were you rooting for? You just were rooting for players, or did you grasp on the teams at some point?
Yeah, so growing up, I would just root for the guys on my fantasy teams, and then that eventually evolved into liking their team. So I'm a big Jaguars fan.
Oh, wow.
Because I had Mark Brunell, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell, Fred Taylor, all those guys were on my fantasy team when I was little. And so
oh, okay. So when did you start playing fantasy then? I assume you were like 6 or what? When was it?
Yeah, it was I was pretty young, and the winner at that time got a handful of popcorn, I think, because my family.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't have a lot of juice on those games at that point. That was were you playing straight just touchdowns and that's about it, or were you guys?
No, we did yards too, and you'd have to call in to my uncle to get your team set before the game started, and then he'd mail out the results every week. It was awesome.
I lived that lifestyle too. I remember I was in a real baseball league that did like a stat service, and I had to wait a week to find out if I won the league at the end of the year because you couldn't just call up and find. So that was always painful week to find out. But I understand those days. Did you ever do the stats yourself? Were you ever the statistician?
Oh yeah,
when you were young? Yeah,
always. Yeah, I knew the score before they came for sure.
So I mean, for baseball, were you doing hand, or did you have a computer program set up, or what were you doing? So baseball,
I actually didn't play until I started playing daily fantasy. I only played basketball and football, and I wasn't even a big baseball fan. But yeah, that's why DFS is so cool. Is it makes you interested in things that you weren't before.
And it brings people together. Let's not forget that. So that's the important. So when you I mean, you don't host a lot of the shows. I mean, you appear every once in a while on the shows, if I'm correct, right? It's not just the articles.
Yeah, every once
Who?
in a while. I think I'm going to be doing a little bit more coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Who do you normally work with, and who do you like working with the most when you're doing the shows?
So my most recent one was with Eric Crane. He was awesome. I hadn't
Yeah,
done a show in like a year before that, but me and Beer used to have a show. He's always been my favorite co-host for sure.
yeah, yeah. Beer's an entertaining one. Yeah. So, what are you looking forward to most when you go to Nashville? What's the thing? Is there something in particular you try to, like a restaurant or a place that you try to hit up while you're there?
Two places we like to go. Desano's Pizza is awesome fire baked pizza, and then Hattie B's Chicken.
Oh,
It's awesome.
I won't turn down chicken.
Yeah,
That'll probably be good. Is Mrs. Noto going to be attending the event with you, or are you
she
coming?
will
So
be. So
okay,
everybody that's going
excellent.
is going to be intoxicated. Thanks.
And so is Baby No going to be there too, or are you leaving Baby No
Uh,
behind?
we're hoping to leave him with at home with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be tough bringing the reprobates that show up at the RG party. Probably it's for the best if we keep them keep children out of this situation. So, for people that are coming to the party the first time, do you have any recommendations for them on meeting the semi celebrities that appear at the event or anything like that?
Yeah, just don't be starstruck or anything. Everyone's just a regular dude. You can just talk to anybody. Everyone's really cool. It's kind of funny. People come up to you, oh, it's so crazy meeting you. It's like, I'm just a normal guy. I'm not
Yeah.
anything else. So don't be weirded out.
Yeah, trust me, if you knew how boring my life is,
Exactly.
you would not be impressed with, like, oh my god, you must live like in a castle doing all this. No, it is so just not that. But yeah, I mean, not that anybody's thinking that of me, but yeah, still, it's just one of those things. Everybody's a regular guy looking to have a good time, and woman. There are
Yeah.
we. It is yeah. We're all just looking to have a good time and have fun at the party. So, um, okay, top 5 rap albums of all time.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I'll make it 3. I'll keep it simple. 3 is. I won't go as deep as 5. Give me 3 albums.
Geez, I don't even know albums. I just like songs.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, okay. What are the 3 songs that are most played on your iPod? If you even still use
Um,
that iPod.
all right. Yeah, what's an iPod?
Oh yeah, I know. I don't know if anybody uses. I still have an iPod, so I'm one of the 8 people left with an iPod. So
Um, let's see. How about three top Biggie songs?
okay, that's fine. Whatever works
So
for
I'll
you.
go Juicy, Big
Okay,
Papa, and Kick in the Door.
Papa. Oh, I
Yeah.
won't do it. I won't do the Robert Goulet Papa. I won't do it. I won't do the Will Ferrell. I was about ready to run. No, you know what? I'm doing it. Papa, love it when you call me Big Papa. Okay, I'm done. I'll just I'm gonna let it go. I'm not much of a rap person, but I mean I have some. But all my friends were huge into rap, and I've been to a few shows and things like that. So it's I'll save the story when I was at the Public Enemy concert in Pittsburgh for another time. That might be a Night Sweat story.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to hear that one.
yeah. Listen to Night Sweat's first week. I'll probably tell the story. We'll probably start week 2 of the NFL season for anybody that cares about it. You saw the Tournament of Shame is back, by the way. I do need to plug that while I'm doing the show. I don't know if you saw. We have returned the Tournament of Shame, and you are always welcome to join it. We had the first week. My brother, K Rebel 44, came in last place, and he will be reviewing Kiefer Sutherland's new country music album on YouTube.
Nice. Are you doing baseball?
We did a baseball one to start with, so it will probably be football mostly. We're not going to do it every week this time, but we might mix in a few sports. We might try basketball once or twice too. We're gonna, we'll see how it goes. FanDuel's now doing it; they seem to be into it, so we'll see where we go with it. But I guess we're good here. I mean, unless there's anything that you want to bring up. I mean, you want to plug anything? Please feel free. While before I get you off the air here. I mean, you don't get to be front and center all the time. So, is there anything you want to share? Or
no, not really.
Okay.
I'm excited for NFL to start. What's your favorite sport, by the way, to play?
To play? Oh, my days are over.
Yeah.
I golf now out of default. I used to play basketball. Honestly, if the Roto Grinders that year, if it was like 3 years earlier, I would have played in the game. But I just stopped, and once I stopped, I lost all my timing. So I used to play and coach basketball, but I saw how everybody else did. I probably would have been about the same.
Yeah, you would have been fine.
I probably would have been okay at that game. But I think I would have been wheezing about 12 minutes into it. So right now I've just been doing golf, which I admit is an old man sport, but I'm an old man, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about DFS?
Oh, mostly baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as big on it right now, but I used to play a lot more money. But I mean, I'm still playing consistently. But I'm more of a casual player now. I think I'd like to just throw it into the $3-5, the small tournaments, and play a few 50-50s here and there. I'm not a beast anymore. Not that I ever was, but I mean, I was playing qualifiers a lot when I first started, which have their advantages, but it's harder to qualify than it used to be. I got into a qualifier, so if I could get in back then, anybody could. So nowadays it's about 10 times harder, I think, to get through a qualifier. I mean, if you're gonna, here's my advice: if you're gonna play the qualifiers, kids, try to win satellite tickets. Do the Dean route. Yeah, make it. You could win the tickets. So that would probably be my one bit of advice that I don't follow. But if that's the way you want to do it, if you're looking for the big score, I'd probably go 50-50s mostly to start with, if like you said. But if you're looking for a big score, it doesn't hurt to try to win the tickets, because a lot of people, those are a little easier to win, to get through. So, but that's my one bit of advice today. Thank you. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think we're good. I think we got a good show. Next week for everybody, I don't know who I'm having on. We'll find out. It's always a mystery. So, sometimes when this happens, though, we end up getting an exciting guest. So, Derek, I thank you for being on the show, and say hi to Mrs. Noto for me. And I look forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks. And that's all, guys. Take care.
Appreciate it.